and some detailed examples, and then go through some suggestions. So, first we'll go to explanation. So this is also called the paradox of choice. It was introduced back in 1970, but really became famous in 2004. But essentially, it's that users become overwhelmed if there's more choice. So it's very self-explanatory. And what it leads to is either an unsatisfying experience or abandonment of the experience altogether. So to put that into context, like Netflix, for example, that seems to be a very popular example today. Unsatisfying experience, say you choose a movie and you're watching it, in the back of your mind you're thinking, oh, I could have chosen that, or I could have, kept scrolling for something better, so you're unsatisfied. And then abandonment, maybe you're scrolling for so long through the options that you're like, oh, whatever, I'm just gonna play video games instead, or something like that. So this law relates very well to the cognitive overload in Hicks' law. And really what we're saying here is less is more, because we don't want to overwhelm the user. So who here has heard of the jam experiment? Okay, you have one. So this applies really well. They did a study of selling jam, and when there was so many choices, only 3% of shoppers actually bought the jam, and when there was only 30% of shoppers bought the jam. And that's because when you have so many choices, you're thinking, in the jam example, oh, do I like strawberry better than orange, or blueberry, I think my partner's allergic to blueberry, or whatever. You're going through each option and considering things about it, whereas say I had 6, oh, strawberry is my favorite, here's my credit card, I'm gonna buy it. So it kind of speeds up the process a little bit and reduces the work that the user needs to do.
Okay, so before we start with the first bad example, one thing that I want you guys to focus on from what Grace said was an unsatisfying experience and an abandonment of choice, right? Or the actual action that you want to do, which is no one who wants to have a user experience or has a customer base wants to have or give them an unsatisfying experience or an abandonment of what they want to do on the site. So the first bad example that we have is Temu, which is a marketplace. Have you guys heard about Temu? Or it's something like Amazon, right? But it offers constant promos and competitive pricing, which is something that we can say is their unique selling proposition. So basically, this is their website, and we'll now look at their app. So one thing about their app, what I did here is to create more of a visual understanding of what it looks like the first thing that you see it, right? This is the first, you call it, look that you can see on the app when you open it. You'll see that the red ones have filters or search tools. The green ones are promos. There's one information tab or one information key, and then one for products. So as you can see, as you go through the whole thing, there's a lot. There's a lot of complex choices that you can make, or different features that they want you to be able to know about them. But in terms of what you're going to start first, the overload experience overall is too general to actually provide helpful information and what we want to do on the site. And then after that, we'll be able to see another look of the app. So basically, because their USP is to connect the customer to merchants themselves, right? People who have factories themselves, that's why the market is, or the pricing is very competitive. But because of this, they give the merchants free reign to actually create their own titles or give their own highlights per product, which makes the lack of uniformity too much information. So it's hard for you to actually understand what exactly it is that you want or the highlights of each product. So it's difficult to absorb the information. And another thing about the app is, as you can see here, it's endless scrolling. So there's no end base, so you're just overloaded with choices on choices on choices. Which actually, if we can go to the next. And the scrolling and no direction or guidance is not going to help the customer to make any decision at all. Another bad example that we have actually, so we talked about one, which is the choice of actually buying a product. The next is the choice of actually picking a place to eat, which is very hard, right? So we have OpenTable, which is an online reservation platform. We use it a lot here in Canada. Next, please. So here we have less, right? We see that there's more information. there's a specific place for information, filters, promos, and products, right? But it is still too general. We don't necessarily know exactly where our eyes are going to go or what we want to do, but we know that people go to Open Table because they're hungry and they want to choose where to eat, right? So hard to get reservations is basically the unique selling proposition of Open Table. If you use the platform, you'll be able to get to their top restaurants, right? But it can be enticing, but also overwhelming for people who are on the app because they are hungry and they want to actually choose a place to eat at. So this can lead to confusion, and the filter tools that will help them actually decide are at the very, very bottom of the app, which is not necessarily a good help to actually make a choice for people who want to eat somewhere.
Excellent. Yeah, like my teammate said, like when we open the current Tmu's homepage, there are so many products and promotion surrounded by the users. So like the biggest challenge is the choice overload. So choice overload also causes a lack of uniformity and endless scrolling. So what we do, we redesign the Tmu. So first we do like now we open the Tmu's homepage. We look like enter a very messy warehouse. So we want to transform this choice to become more like well organized and simple shops. So we transform this choice to become into more clear and simple design. We even change the color from the orange become the blue. It's comfortable to the user's eyes. And secondly, we created some recommendation and brand highlights to replace the endless scrolling. Like my teammates shows these too much products, and we cannot end up scrolling. So we highlight some products like brands and public or best seller. It is look like people's own professional sales assistants. Like, hey sir, I know you have a kickboxing class one. So I know your budget, you show it here, and you have the points in there, and this is best choice for you. And third, we make some smart filters and simplified products cards. So like no one want to click tons of buttons, but cannot find what they want. So we make some filters and simply products cards make users more easier to make a choice without headache. So finally, what we want to got. So we can not only good for the users, now that you let users to make a quicker and efficiency decision, but also we want to give more sellers and the teams the click or some sell more sell, and it's finally got a win-win result. So welcome my teammates Shalu to introduce the solution.
All right, we'll have to cut there as well, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Are you guys close to finishing? How far are we?
But this is the last, I think the last 2 slides, yeah. That's 5
Yeah,
minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes? No, I'm sorry.
So 1 minute. 1
Half the
minute.
presentation. No. Thanks guys, thank you so much. Have a seat, please. Thank you.